This week on Hermitcraft.
So that is my redstone system. That is pretty much everything. Oh yeah, a war happened.
Hey!
Oh, nice. Oh! Oh!
Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP, and we appreciate your patience while we both took a holiday break to recharge the batteries on this rickety old recap machine. We're both feeling refreshed, bewildered, and enthusiastic to bring you a recappy new year. So with hot cocoa in hand, let's roll that beautiful bean footage and take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server last year.
Yeah, now is not the time. Now is not the time for going on vacations. And, I mean, maybe it is. No, it's not.
Because just in time for the season of giving, hermits on both sides of the turf war gave the year a dramatic send-off with the final minigame showdown.
Is there favoritism going on over here? Look at him over there.
Of course there's favoritism. There has been the whole time.
When we last left you, the Mycelium Resistance was in the lead, but with everything still to play for, the two sides face off in Dodgeball, Floatage, Rip Zone, Dockem's Zoglin Maze, and Showdown.
Oh!
Ren, I think it was not. We were not.
It wasn't our turn.
Oh,
it wasn't our turn. It wasn't our turn.
Oh,
It was a good draw, though.
Despite a bit of early confusion about the rules, the Resistance came out on top of 3 rounds of Dodgeball, they clawed back a single-point victory in Floatage, then absolutely stomped the competition in both Rip Zone and the Zoglin Maze.
Dude, I mean, that went okay. We've definitely got out of lefts and right. Am I an idiot? Am I telling you the wrong left and rights?
I don't know. Like when you say go left, there's often nowhere to turn left.
The HEP managed to recover some dignity with a strong display of Showdown, but by that time the final score was on the board, Resistance 6, HEP 3.
So many games that I had to make the scoreboard bigger. So absolute landslide.
Does this mean that genuinely the shopping district is going to stay as Mycelium though? Because it is really ugly.
No.
War Part 2, if that's the case. War Part 2.
So in the aftermath of the Mycelium Resistance's triumph, a few wagers had to be settled. Good Times with Scar will be helping Grian finish the back of his mansion build. If you hear some booms overhead, it's not because Tango is breaking the sound barrier, it's because he has to fly with explosive fireworks for a month.
And the final one, the finale is wait, you're very excited. I can tell right now. Star-shaped red twinkle trail something. Yeah, there goes the diamond.
Good luck finding Cub Fan when he has to eat chorus fruit for a few weeks.
It's almost like a slalom when you do this, which is kind of fun to do, honestly.
And who even knows what Etho has in mind for BOO's internship at Shady Ease?
This is my new place of work. Kind of caused me some trouble in the past, where there's bees all in my base and stuff like that.
On the flip side, B-Dubs also gets the next month of profits from Lamps Plus, which was a wager over the skydive minigame, not over the outcome itself. And perhaps most significantly, it is left to HEP to beautify the shopping district again, but by converting it back to grass, not mycelium, as both sides agreed it actually looked better. And as the Resistance had been saying the whole time, it was about the principle anyway, whoever that is.
We are getting the shopping district back in grass, so secretly, we win, right?
That's how I feel. Like, all we ever wanted was grass everywhere.
Real
Green
winner's
lush
the grass,
grass.
to be honest. It's coming back with a vengeance, Bruce Willis style. It's going to be a Mycen.
Now that HEP has to clean up the shopping area, Azumavoid is appointed a state-issued gardener. His responsibility, nay, his right, is to tie up areas not tying into the overall landscape, essentially adding transitions from build to build, which he was sort of already doing anyway for, what date is it now? About 6 seasons or so. And X did a good enough job concealing his super potion brewery behind an imposing looking front, so he is clearly the man for the job.
It's very much a continuation of what we got above, but I've introduced a new block, and I love how moody this room is.
In a gesture of goodwill, Mount Scarmore is to be transformed into Mount Hermit, so HEP will be mounting every Hermit's face on it. The war may be done, but for some, the minigames will never be over. Take XB Crafted and Corrales, for example, who wager holiday homes at each other's bases on a game of Grian's free-falling minigame. XB wins on points, but they both agree to redeem the prizes. After picking up his Christmas presents from under the tree and around the Christmas District fireplace, XB returns to his city to tidy up for future visitors by installing fountains that hide full arrays of beacon.
Oh, you see where we're going? We're going great.
BOO also has Keralis hospitality on his mind. Having been hired to convert the half-mansion basement into a bedroom, B-Dubs goes with a cyberpunk theme and decks out the place with neon lights, digital readouts, and the only legitimate use of magenta glazed terracotta.
I think this is the only time that this glazed terracotta block will ever work in a build, and I think it kind of actually makes sense.
With B-Dubs taking all the profits from Lamps Plus for a month, Impulse has some time on his hands and decides to spend it remodeling the interior of his ocean-bound pyramid, which unfortunately means confronting the very thing he fears most.
A ceiling. I hate doing ceilings. You know I hate doing ceilings.
Giant pig monsters are a cakewalk by comparison to the ceiling, but one infinity later, Impulse has settled on some designs for the internal walls and is making the whole place look bright and snazzy. Joe Hills does his part to brighten up the Christmas district with his now signature Parthenon build, this time style after a gingerbread house, with quartz icing and micro-block gumdrops.
Little candies alongside here, just adding a little bit of extra non-white and red color.
And if that wasn't festive enough for you, he recreates New Year celebration landmarks across the Strait of Gibraltar, starting with a scale model of Berlin's Brandenburg Gate, which needed a few more blocks than Big Ben did.
Like over here, we've got our Big Ben we're going to shoot off fireworks behind.
While some celebrate a more wintry festival, Iskall is having more fun in the sun over at the Pacific Skyscraper, where his first task is to stop being distracted by Mumbo.
No, he's just having a swim. He disappeared and I just want to see, but...
And his second is to fit an aquarium around the diamond block centerpiece and wonder why all the fish are trying to migrate. The customers get to go for a swim as well, as Iskall installs a programmable bubble elevator to take them between floors. When Mumbo is not being a distraction, he starts working on the brain of Pacific, which is perhaps not the best task for a man who's brought his base to life only to let it die twice. We kid, of course, and despite the circuitry breaking his brain a little, Mumbo redstones up a circuit which accepts their new Pacific Coin cryptocurrency, charges customers the correct amount for buying items with it, and even calculates the amount they overspend to be deducted from any future deposits. It's no surprise he needs some time in the pool afterwards.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
But after that, it's back to work on a system that lets people purchase said cryptocurrency, busting out the label maker over at his industrial district, and recruiting a new zombie for his villager zombificator so he can fix up the iron farm and get back to trading.
So for example, all these guys, because I've cured them up, trade iron for 1 iron per emerald, which is amazing when you've got an iron farm.
Hypnotized also happens to have a hole machine for exactly that process. His villager hall project calls for a hall full of people with life debt. That's why Hypno rigs up a contraption that feeds fresh villagers to a very well-equipped zomb, then outputs them for further qualification and trading. Hypno makes sure he himself is fed too, and throws together a quick hoglin farm over the nether ceiling.
I know there's like way better ones out there, but I'm not trying to copy somebody's design or whatever. I just know the basic mechanics for this.
And finally there's Vintage Beef, who manages to sneak in one last Christmas present to Keralis for safely returning Carlos the Turtle, his own head in a box. Every home should have one. But with the new year comes new opportunities, and after designing a brand new instrument to add to his armor stand garage band, Beef takes down the entire music store for a redesign, promising that Beefy Tunes II will return as a multi-floor enterprise with music, merch, and only a faint smell of llama. And with that, he destroys Mumbo's face. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. I actually kind of got the Wither to fight the Ender Dragon this week. Just a little bit. You can see how badly that goes in the end screen theatre. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.